Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have a tag video for you. I've been meaning to do this tag for a really long time because I love the concept. I just never got around to doing it, but today I'm finally filming it, and it is the if I could only have one tag, meaning if you could only keep one makeup product from each category, what would it be? This tag was created by Kelly Gooch here on YouTube. I will have all of her information and her channel listed down below. She comes up with such amazing and creative video ideas, and I just love all of her content. So definitely make sure you guys go subscribe to her and check out her videos, and we are just going to jump right on into this tag. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did find this a little bit hard because I love playing around with different products. I do have like staples that I would say are my favorites, but genuinely you guys, I love switching it up. Like day to day, I'll use a different concealer, a different eyeshadow palette, different brow products, different lip colors. I really love to switch it up day to day. I think it keeps makeup really fun for me, and that's one of my favorite things about it. So narrowing it down to one product was really hard. And also one thing that Kelly did go ahead and mention in one of her videos when she did this tag was that I wasn't sure if I should approach this from like a favorite holy grail standpoint or more of like a practicality and versatility standpoint, meaning should I pick the products that I know I love, that I use every single day even though they're limited in color, or should I kind of branch out a little bit and let's say pick an eyeshadow palette that has a billion colors in it, because if I could only have one palette, at least all those colors are still in there, if that makes any sense. So definitely gathering and thinking about these products was a little bit of a struggle for me. Like I said, I love to switch it up, but I'm gonna share with you guys what I picked today. My kind of strategy for this was just to pick the first thing that came to mind, whether it was a favorite or for practical reasons or not. I just picked the first thing that came to mind. So I think that's everything. I think I'm done blabbing. Let's just go ahead and get on into the tag. If you guys want to play around with me, I will leave a blank template that you guys can fill out in a pinned comment down below and copy and paste it with your personal answers. So without further ado, if you guys want to see the if I could only have one tag, make sure to keep on watching. So the first product is primer spray, and this was really easy for me. If I could only have one, I would definitely pick MAC Fix Plus. This has been my holy grail for so long, and I feel like it is also versatile in this sense where I could use it to prime, I could use it to hydrate under my makeup, I could also use it on top of my makeup to kind of take down any powderiness or refresh it throughout the day. I chose this because it is, again, a favorite of mine. I know I say this a lot of the time when I talk about Fix Plus, but I genuinely don't know how I was doing my makeup without this product. It can be used in so many different ways. It feels absolutely incredible on the skin, and I've repurchased so many of them. I don't think that I would ever let this go in my makeup routine. It is definitely a staple for me every single day. So if I could only have one spray, priming spray or setting spray, it would definitely be MAC Fix Plus. Probably the original one. I'm not really too picky on the scents, but I would just go with the original. And just kind of going in the order that I do my own personal makeup, if I could only have one brow product, it's the Brow Wiz. I'm sure you guys know, I'm sure that this doesn't come as a surprise to you. I've tried so many different brow pencils even recently. I have two different brow pencils in my eyes today that I'm kind of testing out against each other. I test out so many brow products and I always come back to the Anastasia one. It's really easy to say that brow pencils are really similar and they do the same thing and all they do is fill in your brows, but I am so picky about my brow pencil. It has to have like the perfect amount of pigment, the perfect amount of creaminess, but not overly pigmented, not overly creamy, not too waxy. And I feel like the Anastasia one is one of the only ones that's really just nailed down the perfect formula in my mind. Again, I keep going back to it, nothing ever compares to it. And if you guys were wondering, my favorite is in the shade Chocolate. It is just my little baby. I don't think I could ever do without this. All right, you guys, I have to cheat a little bit here because I genuinely cannot decide if I could only keep one eyeshadow palette. I really do not know. This is so hard for me because, like I said earlier, I don't know if I should base this off of my go-to everyday shades or if I should pick something that has a little bit of everything inside of it. I was having a lot of trouble picking through the eyeshadow palette, so I'm just gonna tell you guys the top two that I'm deciding between, and that would be the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam and the ABH Jackie Aina palette. The Soft Glam has been a longtime favorite of mine, and the Jackie Aina is a more recent favorite. I am so conflicted between these, you guys. I've been debating about this for hours. When I was planning this video this morning, like literally for 5 hours, I've been thinking about this and I still can't decide. So I guess I will give you guys a little bit of background on each and why I would want to pick each one. I feel like Soft Glam is really self-explanatory. You guys know me and my makeup style. I'm very comfortable in my makeup style. I'm very comfortable in the colors that I choose. I'm not super into like very loud and colorful and detailed like Instagram-y makeup, and I feel like the Soft Glam is my perfect palette for those day-to-day soft looks. But at the same time, I have been slowly getting into more color. If you guys can see, I have a little bit of pink on my lower lash line today, and I don't know if I would get bored of the Soft Glam in the sense if that was the only palette I could use for the rest of my life. So that brings me to the Jackie Aina palette, and I picked this one out because it has those warm tones in it still that the Soft Glam has. As you guys can see, the makeup on the top of my lid today is very reminiscent of something I could get with the Soft Glam, but I did it using the Jackie Aina palette. So I feel like I'm leaning more and more towards the Jackie Aina just because I can get those soft glam warm looks, but then I also have purples, pinks, reds, some of these cool like greenish gold, blue brown shades. It definitely is the best of both worlds in this palette. I'm still really conflicted because the Soft Glam has a black and a matte brow bone shade, which is also really crucial for me, but then it's like Jackie Aina has all the fun stuff in it and it's still warm and neutral at the same time. I don't know, you guys. I think I'm gonna pick the Jackie Aina. I feel bad. I feel like I'm cheating on my Soft Glam palette, but I think if I put this into the perspective, like if I could only wear one palette for the rest of my life, I think I might get a little bored of the Soft Glam. So I think I'm gonna go with the Jackie Aina. After all of that deliberating, if I could only have one, it would be the Jackie Aina palette. I think. I hope. Let's just say I'm really happy that this isn't a real scenario, you guys, because I would genuinely be upset and really conflicted about it. But I think for the purpose of this video and just thinking long term with like creativity and not being bored and being able to still be in my comfort zone but then branch out when I wanted to, I think Jackie Aina is going to be the one for that. If I could only keep one mascara, this was easy for me. I would pick the Essence Lash Princess. It's only $5. It is very, very inexpensive and affordable. It makes my lashes really dark and black and long and volumized. I would say it definitely just has all of the best qualities about a mascara, and this is the one that I love to go back to time and time again. So definitely, if I could only have one mascara, it would be Essence Lash Princess, specifically the False Lash Effect in the green tube. This is the best one. So those are all the products that I would keep for the eyes if I was only able to keep one in each category. But now moving on to the face, I feel like the face was easier for me than the eyes, just because for the eyes, there are so many different like options and styles and colors and looks. But I feel like face was definitely easier for me. Over the past year or so, I really nailed down a base routine that I love. It looks flawless, it's comfortable, it's long lasting, and I kind of just chose all of those same products. So for a primer, no doubt about it, I definitely would keep the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer if I could only keep one. This is such a flawless and comfortable and beautiful primer on the skin, and one of the reasons why I chose this, aside from just those things that I just mentioned, is that I feel like it's very universal under a lot of different foundations, and it's also really universal no matter what time of year it is. I find that this is nice and plumping and hydrating and healthy looking on the skin in the winter, but it's kind of just like that perfect pore filling, texture smoothing kind of formula for the summer. It's not overly hydrating to wear in the summer to where it's going to make me sweat or extra greasy. It's kind of just that like universal perfect primer. So I would say that was like my biggest factor when picking this primer, was that not only does it make my foundation look flawless, but no matter what time of year it is, no matter the lighting conditions, the temperature conditions, what I'm doing that day, if I'm gonna be just sitting around or running a mile, which I will literally never do, it was just a figure of speech, it's just going to last and be a really great primer in all conditions, and that is why it would be the one that I would keep. For foundation, if I could only keep one, of course, it is the Maybelline Super Stay 24-hour foundation. I talk about this all the time, but I've genuinely never used a foundation that I love so much. This is the foundation that I'm wearing on my skin today, and it truly just makes my skin so flawless. I try a lot of makeup here on my channel, drugstore, high-end, and I just always go back to this foundation just because it is that good. It is really full coverage. It definitely has more of like a satin matte finish to it, so I would say if you guys are more into like a lightweight, glowy, dewy, sheer foundation, you're definitely not going to be into this one. I really would not have any issue just using this foundation only for the rest of my life, or just having only this one foundation in my whole entire makeup collection. It is just that beautiful for being so full coverage. It is not overly matte, it is not overly dry, and it does not look makeupy at all on the skin. I don't know if you guys can see from that far away. Maybe I'll get a little closer so you guys can see. It is literally flawless, and I feel like it doesn't look like I have a full coverage foundation on, if that makes any sense. Which leads me into another one of my holy grail products that I probably talk about too much here on my channel, but that is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This is just my ride or die concealer. It does have very, very, very high coverage, but with something like concealer, you can really easily sheer it down by applying a lot less, or shearing it out with a damp sponge or something like that. A base product like concealer can be really easily manipulated and sheared out. So I would still pick this one because on most days I do like full coverage more than I like light coverage. And touching back on the foundation, I would say the same about this as well. Although it does have full coverage, I feel like you could always apply less or shear it out with a damp sponge or something if you wanted more of a light look or something like that. And for powder, if I could only keep one, of course I went with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in the shade 10 Fair Light. It's just a really great powder. It's really finely milled. It has a beautiful finish to it. It's not too heavy to where I'm gonna look overly dry in the winter, but it's heavy duty enough to keep my oils and my sweat under control in the summer. So really versatile powder with a beautiful finish. There's really not much more I could say. It's just truly, truly a beautiful powder, and it also is really inexpensive. I believe it's like $5 or $6 on Amazon. I feel like you guys are gonna get annoyed with me for talking about these same products that I always talk about over and over again here on my channel. But for bronzer, I'm sure you guys can guess if I could only keep one, it would definitely be the Anastasia Beverly Hills Rosewood Bronzer. I guess the only explanation that I have for this is that the undertone is just really, really perfect on me. Bronzer is definitely one of those tricky things that one shade just doesn't look good on everyone. It could be too orange or too gray, too red, too pink. Like, so many bronzers have so many different undertones. Having that perfect undertone to bronzer is so crucial, or it could look muddy or too orange or something like that. So I'm just picking this one because this never fails me. It is my absolute perfect undertone for a bronzer, which I don't know if you guys can see is a little bit more on the rosy red side. I wouldn't consider myself to be cool tone, so I would think maybe more of like a olivey bronzer would suit me more, but this bronzer has the perfect undertone for my skin, and just so it looks good every single time, this is the one that I would keep if I could only pick one. For blush, I actually don't have this blush with me because I dropped it and it broke, which is so sad, but if I could only have one blush, I would keep the Wet n Wild Keep It Peachy blush. I will insert a photo of it right here. It's a really nice pigmented formula. It has a really beautiful warm peach undertone, which you guys know I love. It can also go with a lot of different eye looks and a lot of different makeup looks in general as well. If you guys think about it, a lot of people would associate peach with being more warm tone and wearing it with a warm look and a warm lip, but I personally absolutely love pairing peach with more cool tones, more like blue, icy tones. I think peach looks so good with a cool tone eye because it brings a little life to the cheek, and then I also love pairing cool tone eyes with like a peachy lip. So I just feel like peach is like that beautiful, brings enough life to your cheeks, is just enough color, type of color. So I would pick the Wet n Wild Keep It Peachy blush. Highlighter was another one of those things that I struggled with because I really like to switch it up with my highlighters. I like wearing different undertones of highlighters, metallic highlighters, subtle highlighters. I just like to switch it up all the time, so I had a little bit of difficulty picking this one out as well, but the one that I ended up going with was the ABH Amrezy Highlighter. I was really thinking about this in a practical standpoint as well, comparing this to all of the other products that I picked, what would go with everything, and I just thought of the Amrezy one right off the bat because it does have definitely more of a gold tint to it, but I feel like it's not super gold. If you guys can see on my hand, it's not super gold, so you could also wear it kind of more like an icy look. It's not really metallic, but it's not too soft and subtle either. It's just like that perfect in between wet looking formula. So I think I definitely picked this one out of the versatility of it, but it's also just really beautiful. I find myself reaching for this almost on a daily basis anyway, and I do think that if I could only wear one highlighter or only have one in my collection, I think I would be more than happy just keeping this one. For lip liner, if I could only keep one lip liner, I picked something a little bit new in my collection, and that is the House Laboratories lip liner in the shade Endpoint. Honestly, just because it is the most perfect color for me. It's a beautiful peach neutral shade. You guys know I love those types of shades, and they will probably always be my favorite. The formula is very creamy and comfortable and long lasting, but I honestly mainly just chose this because of the shade. It's perfect. Lipstick was really easy for me. The one thing that I could keep in my collection without a doubt when it came to lipstick is ColourPop's What's Your Sign. Again, my perfect peachy nude. I could literally get rid of every other lip color in my collection and wear this one every single day with no problem, because honestly, you guys, it is absolutely perfection. I do not think I would miss other lipsticks as long as I had this one in my collections and I was able to wear this one on my lips. I would wear What's Your Sign on my lips every single day if it was all I had, happily. Like so happily. I would be ecstatic about it. And the last and final thing that I want to touch on in this video, if I could only keep one lip gloss in my makeup collection, I would keep the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, specifically in the shade Fussy. I think the more pink undertone is so beautiful. It is just an easy, classy gloss. You could wear it on top of everything. It's also super beautiful by itself. Comfortable, glossy, long-lasting, you guys name it. I would be really more than happy again to wear this on my lips every single day. So this was another really easy choice for me. I was going back and forth between the two shades of the Gloss Bomb, Fussy, which is the more pink, and Fenty Glow, which is going to be more of that warm rosy tone. At the end of the day, just thinking to myself, which one is the one that I wear more? Which one would I just feel the happiest wearing every single day if I had to? It would definitely be Fussy for me. I just love the mauve-y pink undertone in this, and honestly, it's not even that pink on the lips. It just gives like the most beautiful tint to it. All right, you guys, so that is going to complete this tag video. I really enjoyed filming this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Like I said earlier, I will have an empty little template in the pinned comment down below. If you guys kind of want to play along while you're watching this video, fill out your products and leave it in a comment, because I would love to know what you guys would keep if you could only keep one thing from each category. Also, make sure to go check out Kelly's channel. She was the amazing creator of this tag, and she also makes some really awesome content here on YouTube. But that is going to complete this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel before you leave. I would love to have you guys here as part of my little YouTube fam. If you don't want to miss out on any of my future videos, click that notification bell down below and you'll get notified every single time that I upload a new video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.